Hello, I'm Maciej Mikos and you're watching World News live from Warsaw. French President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday addressed the so-called coalition of the willing during a video conference, and saying that peace negotiations regarding the war in Ukraine are at a crucial juncture.
We are clearly at a crucial juncture. Negotiations are getting a new impetus, and we should seize this momentum, not because there is reason for alarm, Ukraine is solid, Russia is slow, and Europe is steadfast, but because there is finally a chance to make real progress toward a good peace. But the absolute condition for a good peace is a set of very robust security guarantees, and not paper guarantees. Ukraine has had its share of promises that were shattered by successive Russian aggressions, and real, rock-solid guarantees are a necessity. And this is, I would say, the core mission of this coalition of the willings.
The Financial Times, citing unnamed Ukrainian army officials, reports that a peace plan discussed and approved by US and Ukrainian officials would limit Kyiv's forces to 800,000 personnel. This follows an earlier proposal by Washington to cap the Ukraine army at 600,000 soldiers. If such a military cap is agreed to by all sides, it would still make Ukraine the second largest military force in Europe after Russia. Currently, Ukraine boasts a wartime strength of around 900,000 soldiers. Additionally, following consultations in Geneva last Sunday, the original 28-point US proposed peace plan containing the military cap has been condensed down to 19 points, with the most contentious ones regarding territorial disputes left to be addressed by US President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky at a later date. Russia has not officially received the updated peace plan, according to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. While American-based CBS News, citing a US official, said Kyiv has agreed to the updated deal, no official Ukrainian statement confirming the information has been published yet. The European Parliament has voted to adopt the EU's first-ever defence industry programme worth €1.5 billion. The programme also includes some €300 million for war-torn Ukraine. Kazimierz Wysiak has this report.
As expected, there have been no issues with the vote on the European Defence Industry Programme, or EDIP, in the European Parliament in Strasbourg. MEPs have voted through this programme, so it's just about from being officially introduced. This would mean that some money from the current EU budget will be moved to defence, €1.5 billion to be exact. Now, this may seem like not that big of an amount compared especially to the €150 billion loan mechanism called SAFE, but this, according to the Commissioner for Defence, Andrius Kubilius, and members of the European Parliament, is the first step of the EU taking initiative in its own defence spending. This programme is meant to encourage EU member states to engage in joint procurement, meaning several member states buying weapons together for cheaper and making the weapons more compatible. But as the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, said after the vote, it's not only about defence spending.
Europe must get serious about its own defence. We need two things. We need the will and we need the wallet. We all understand that in this new world, Europe must spend more and also ensure better interoperability of our forces. This isn't just about security, by the way. It's also about European competitiveness.
It's about competitiveness because this programme also encourages EU member states to purchase in Europe, purchase European weapons from European manufacturers, and that way to increase the competitiveness of Europe. And this EDIP, European Defence Industry Programme, also includes a €300 million aid for Ukraine to modernize its military and make it more compatible with European modern equipment. Overall, it is a first step, and we are likely to see more focus being put on defense in Europe, especially in the face of the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine and US President Donald Trump's America First policy. The EU is starting to step up when it comes to defense. From Brussels, Kazimierz Łysiak, TVP World.
NATO has a new weapon against drones. On a visit to a NATO military base near Constanta, Romania, the head of US Army Europe and Africa revealed that a new system designed to down drones is now close to deployment, with Romanian troops already trained to use it.
We've already started the development of capability to do exactly what we know we need to do as an alliance, the U.S. being one of those 32 members, to make sure that these drones do not violate your airspace. We have tested it, and it is in the final stages of being employed. Romanian soldiers and other alliance soldiers have been trained on this capability, and I think that I know you're going to see this capability in the Delta very soon.
Moldova claims 6 Russian drones violated its airspace in the early hours of Tuesday. One is said to have crashed on a residential rooftop. Chișinău is urging the citizens to stay alert as security services move to contain the threat.
The first aerial device was detected between the towns of Vinogradovka and Vulcanești, later moving toward the border with Romania in the area between the localities of Colibașii, Cahul district, and Vadul lui Isac. The drone was flying at an altitude of approximately 1,500 meters. The Ministry of Defense immediately informed the responsible agencies, including the General Police Inspectorate, about the illegal overflight. Subsequently, 5 more drones were detected by the National Army's airspace surveillance systems as they crossed our airspace.
France and Poland drew a clear red line in Warsaw, warning that any peace deal on Ukraine reached without Kyiv would amount to Ukraine's surrender. French and Polish defense ministers agreed that Europe's defenses need to harden, not soften.
The pursuit of a just peace means accepting Ukraine's aspirations to have a sovereign, independent and safe state. For 4 years, Ukrainians have heroically defended themselves. This special operation was supposed to last 3 days. It has lasted almost 4 years, and Ukraine deserves a just peace, deserves to have its opinion taken into account, and the conditions in which they operate considered. And here the position of Poland and France, which support Ukraine politically with humanitarian and military aid, is unequivocal. There can be no peace for Ukraine, without the acceptance of Ukrainian society and authorities. And it cannot in any way bring greater risks. It cannot be a capitulation.
Following the plan that was proposed before the weekend and the discussions that took place on Sunday in Geneva, there will be a meeting this afternoon in Paris, which actually means I have to leave Poland a little quickly, and I must apologize for that. Quite simply because this afternoon's meeting is that of the coalition of the willing, to which also you belong. No one can be against a peace plan, but a peace plan cannot be made without Ukraine. A peace plan for a part of Europe requires discussion with the Europeans, and I think I can say we are not there yet. So today we are working on it.
The EU's highest court ruled on Tuesday that same-sex marriages must be respected after a same-sex Polish couple's wedding in Berlin was not honored by the Polish government. The ruling was made even as the Polish parliament has been working on a plan for civil unions, which was expected to, in some way, include same-sex partnerships. A same-sex Polish couple was originally married in Berlin in 2018, and they went to court when their marriage was not recognized by the Polish government. Typically, the Polish government recognizes all marriages performed by any other EU member state, but in this case, the government refused to transcribe the German marriage certificate in the Polish registry. The EU Court of Justice said today that all EU governments must honor the marriages of all EU citizens, but member states do not have to amend their national laws. And that's all for now. News in Depth is coming up next.